Welcome to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I am Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and the snow is still in my house.
It's in your house?
The front of my house, because doesn't get any sunshine.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it's like the back part, I was finally able to take Vixen out last night, and her not like just play in the snow and do her business. Yes, it's finally, and it's a weird day today. Yeah. It's like spring out.
Yes, so I pulled
flowers out instead of the snowflakes.
Yes, I'm glad you did.
Yeah, but I still put some of the fun little balls on there.
I love the snow, but I don't like that stage where it gets dirty. And then you just see if you drive down Main Street, there's all these big piles and they're all brown.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
Yeah,
not pretty.
Then I'm like, okay, it can go. But a fresh layer could come along and I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
But this dirty look.
No, I'm over it all. Well, I have been since the beginning, but it's like the backyard I can finally see. But it's just still January. I mean, we're not done.
No,
but it's a weird day out there. I didn't even put my coat on, and it's like the birds were singing this morning. Yeah. The sun's shining. What I don't like about this time of year is that tricky black ice.
Yeah,
you think something's melted.
And it's
not, and it's slick.
Yeah, that's a problem, especially in parking lots that are already kind of black.
That makes
asphalt,
me nervous.
Like Country Closet, I hit a few slick spots there, and they had done a really good job on their parking lot. I'm not knocking them. They had somebody come clean it. It looked nice, but there were a few spots by where I parked that were just, they weren't even a quarter of an inch thick. I mean, they were just like maybe an eighth of an inch thick, and it just looked like you were walking on water, and it was like, of course,
done.
I made it, but
you did make it.
Yeah. I didn't fall because I was walking like in my old lady walk where I more or less march.
Yeah. I just like kind of scoot a little bit. I'm like a Tim Conway on Carol Burnett, like that old man. Yeah, seriously, I'm like a.
I love Tim Conway.
I did. Oh my gosh!
Oh, so funny.
Carol Burnett shows were great.
Yes,
that may have to be one of our episodes.
Talk about her.
Talk about Carol Burnett.
I wish we could show clips, but we would get.
I know
copyrighted.
I know. I don't like that copyright stuff.
I know.
I think that's rude. Just let me do what I want to do.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they won't let me.
Yep.
I don't know, but it's kind of interesting. I mean, it's so weird, but it's just January. It's just January. Jim did come into the house. My sunroom still got I bought at my friend Jackie Richardson has Jackie's Hidden Treasures, a resale shop down in Sisney. And she got them 1950s, like the plastic snowman.
Oh, cute.
That. So I got a snowman. I got a little Santa. I got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with that old candle next to it. And a big Santa Claus. Those things were a little pricey, but they were worth
those are worth a lot.
I can't remove them from my set. They look so cute.
Well, you should leave them up all year long. I'm telling you.
Jim came in, and then I've got my mom. My mom had this one beautiful Santa. I think she got it at Kirkland's, and he's holding a tree, and the tree's lit. I can't bring myself to take that stuff down. Jim came in yesterday and said, don't you think it's about time to take the Christmas stuff down? I'm like, yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
But I will say, even though sometimes my heart is I want my Christmas stuff up all year round, it does make it more special when you bring it back out again. So maybe you should look at it like that. I will put it away, and that way when I pull it out again in November, it will feel more special.
I'm thinking so.
Because I won't have looked at it all summer.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take it down. Yeah. Now, I'm still on the fence, though, because I got this one. I probably leave it up. In the sunroom, I got this big wardrobe in there. The ceilings are pretty high in the sunroom, and I do you got the Ace or whatever. They have the pretty the little small Christmas trees, but they're not Christmassy. Yeah, that are lit. I think I'm gonna leave that up on top of that wardrobe all year long.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that.
I don't either.
I have a neighbor that has a couple little trees like that, and the white lights, and it's just sort of decor. It's not really super
I've got
Christmassy.
2 of those. Yeah, they're like the fern, but I've got 2 of those. I think I'm gonna leave those up in there, but I may take Santa and. Boy, they're cute though.
I bet they are.
Yeah, they're the real deal.
It will feel more special when you bring it back out again next year. But I understand. I'm tempted. So for January, we took all of our Christmas down, but then I decorate with blue things and snowmen and stuff, and then for right before probably in November, we all made paper cutouts of snowflakes, and then we hung them from our ceiling. We do that some years. We don't do it every year, but some years. Anyway, my snowflakes are still hanging from my ceiling. Yeah, in my living room, and I kind of want to leave those up all year. My kids would be like, "Why is it June and it's snowflakes?" But they're so cute.
They're cute. Yeah, my mantles are still. I always do the mantles in my back family room. It's still it is red. It's red and green. But I do I went to Hobby Lobby and I got these beautiful like it's a white picture and it's like church, snowy scene. So it's got snowman and so it's kind of neutral, even though it does stay in the red. Because I don't do a lot of red decorating. Because once spring comes, then I'll go into like the. I decorate my mantles 3 times a year. It does like the winter takes me, and then when I get rid of that, then I go right into spring. Spring will take me all the way through summer, and then I do October. Then I do October. Yeah, because I have 2 of those things. When my dad built my fireplace, I wanted of course you want a mantle, but then I also wanted a place for a big picture. So like a lot of fireplaces will either just have the big picture and no mantle, or a man, but I wanted, so I told Dad, I said I want 2 mantles. 2 mantles. My dad was bricklayer, right? He was like, I don't know. I said, trust me, Dad. I said, I want 2 I want the hearth on the bottom. I want a space right above the fireplace, and I want 2 mantles. And I want old wooden beams out of an old barn. Oh, he's like, he just grumbled and grumbled and grumbled, right? So this is the funniest thing. So then we got it done, and he built the fireplace, and we put those 2 mantles up there, and he stepped back, and he said, I believe this is one of the most beautiful fireplaces I've ever put in my life. I said, see, Dad, you should have been having me design your fireplaces the last year. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love your fireplace. I recently found out about my house that I think your dad built my fireplace.
I would assume he did.
Well, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, they pretty much did everything.
Jason and I were talking about it the other day, and he mentioned somebody that did it, which was a Hemphill.
Yep, that's them.
And I'm like, but it wasn't your dad's name. It was another one.
Harry or Charles. They were all brothers.
Might have been Charles. It was one I did. Charles. So anyway, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, they did it all. Yeah, they came here the very first thing. Actually, I want to write a story about the Hemphills and put it on the cemetery tour. They come from St. Louis.
I've been working on that list.
I'm going to do my family on that, because they've got quite an interesting story. They've literally almost built every brick structure. The very first thing they built was the post office. They were called over from St. Louis, and my grandpa met my grandma, who is a Martin here in Flora, and they're all buried out here.
In 1936, the post office was built in Flora. I recently saw a Facebook post about that. Not that I just knew that off the top of my head. That was on the Flora, Illinois history page the other day, and I thought, man, that would be a good show for us to research, is the history of the post offices, because then they said the Flora post office, before it was where it is now, because there used to be a house that was there where it is now, and then they moved it somewhere else on North Avenue. I can't remember the address. So the house that originally stood where the post office is somewhere else on North Avenue. But where the post office used to be is where the Elks is now.
Interesting. That'd be a good story to do. We need to do that. Yeah,
that's all I know, though. So that I might have already just did the whole story. I don't know.
No, but spring's coming. It's about time for us to go knock on somebody's door and do house episodes too.
Yes, I'm ready for that.
But they came from St. Louis, and I had a cousin that I don't want to give the story away because it's very interesting. An 18-year-old that died on a job, and I mean it's a. I've got the Hemphills got an interesting background. Like I said, they pretty much, you look at a brick building in Clay County, they pretty much all the way from St. Louis. I mean, I can drive all over the place, and
that's cool.
They built everything.
Good for them.
Yeah, they were good. They were good bricklayers, hard work. And my dad was a very popular guy when he was in school. He was voted most popular. Very good looking. My dad was just probably the it man of that year. He always told me that, and I never believed him until I got his yearbook out after he passed. I'm like, oh, yeah, he wasn't lying. And my dad always said that my Uncle Harry, Little Harry, it's confusing because Little Harry that was married to my Aunt May, that's my dad's oldest brother, but there's a big age difference. There were 4 boys, and then there's a little sister. And my Uncle Charles, my dad always said Charles was the best. He died young. He was only in his 50s when he died. They all have cancer. And he said Charles was the best bricklayer out of all 3 of them. And Little Harry was a stonemason. My Uncle Harry would, if he needed a piece of stone, a certain color, and he needed it this big, but the color he needed was this big, he'd whittle that thing down to the size he needed.
Oh, my.
Yeah, he built the house. They lived in that stone house.
Yeah,
out in Fox
he built
Creek.
that?
He built that.
Wow.
Yeah, and he would whittle it down. He was great. He was an artist. Kai's got a lot of my cousin Kai, which Little Harry is his dad. There's Big Harry Grandpa and then Little Harry.
Yeah, I gathered that.
Yeah, and he would take... he would carve birds and such detail. Little Harry had an ivory. He's the sweetest little man you've ever. Sweetest little man you've ever
met, huh?
Ever met. Really sweet guy. But that's just a lowdown on my family. But I do think we should do the post office.
Yeah,
like I said, that'd be a great story.
We could do all the Clay County post offices. So if you're out there watching and you know the history of a post office in your community, email us at, by the way, with Beth and Stacey at gmail.com, and we will put it on the show.
Okay. I picked a couple ads.
Oh my gosh.
From the 60s. This one. Yeah, let's pull this one up. This is just. Why has he got a puppy?
Why not?
Move up to Schlitz. What a weird name. That's got to be somebody's last name,
German, right?
Schlitz.
I think it's like a German beer.
Enjoy that deep, cool kiss of the hops flavor you will find only in the beer that made Milwaukee famous. One of the real joys of good living. Schlitz. But I love this because, I would love to meet this guy. First of all, his jacket is rocking. Jim Early Wine would pull that jacket off great.
Yes.
Second of all, this is from the 60s. And that puppy.
I feel like, okay.
It's such an odd
Milwaukee.
Beer ad.
Where did Laverne and Shirley work?
Shamil, Schmazel, Haas and Sanford Incorporated.
I feel like they made Schlitz beer or something. Like it all goes together.
Yeah.
Okay.
But isn't that the oddest? Because he's like so dressed up.
Yeah.
The glass is unusual for a man and a puppy holding Schlitz beer.
I have a feeling the guy was probably like, really? You want me to hold it in this glass? This isn't how I would drink a beer.
I think that puppy's a little cocker, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not going to lie. When I was flipping, let's see what the 60s have got, because good Lord, the 60s is what? 40, 50, 65 years?
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Long time ago.
You know what I'm not digging? I'm not liking this. When people go, do you realize, 2025 and 1980s is the same as 1920 and the how they're
I know they were like
I can't do it, Beth.
1990 is the same distance from 2025 as the 1920s were when you were in school or something. I saw that the other day and I was like,
right?
When I was a kid, the 1920s was ancient history.
Well, no kidding. I'm glad you did the math on that. I couldn't.
Yeah, no, that's not correct math. That's just off the top of my head, how I kind of remember.
Well, I figure if anybody could do the math, it'd be you. Anyway.
Well, I probably could have.
Not me. But anyway, I've picked out. I think I'm going to do my story first, and I picked out. I came across this Clay City hometown. Their sesquicentennial, 1855 to 2005. It's got great. One of these days, I'm just going to send in a bunch of pictures. We're just going to talk about the pictures. This book is great, but there some of the people I did know. I just picked out 4 interesting stories from prominent citizens in Clay City, and we're just going to touch a little bit on some of Clay City's great citizens.
Okay.
And we'll be right back.
At your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville, you can count on experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, the Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville carry a large inventory of Napa products for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced associates understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at your locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores in Flora and Louisville. Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
We like technology at Flora Savings Bank. Here's what you can accomplish in our mobile banking app in less than 30 seconds. See account balances in your transactions, set up an account alert, make a transfer between accounts, get an alert text message about your transfer, pay a bill, turn your debit card off and then back on. It all happens in the palm of your hand with our free My Bank to Go app. Search My Bank to Go in the App Store or Google Play and give mobile banking a try. Flora Savings Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. I'm Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Early Wine. And I don't know. It seems like we really need to get up to the genealogy trails again. I'm sorry, not genealogy.
Library.
The genealogy library up here. I miss going up there. There's so much.
I know.
And they always come up with these books, but it seems like every time I go up there, I come back with a book because there's just so much history. And like I said, I have ties to Clay City. My grandfather Roy Franklin was actually from Sailor Springs. You know my love of Sailor Springs. And then my granny, my mom, my grandma, my grandpa, Doris and Roy Franklin, they did live in Florida. Like my mom and my Uncle Floyd graduated from Florida.
Okay.
So Grandpa lived in Sailor Springs, and then him and Granny got married. She was from Clay City, and then they moved to Florida. He worked for Dowell.
Okay.
I believe it was Dowell. And then he started his own oil company. And back when Grandpa started his oil company, Clay City was the booming place for oil, even though it was all over Clay City. So then he moved the family. So my ties to Clay City are pretty strong. Always loved that little town. And it is a shame. I hate to see our little towns die.
I know. Clay City's not looking great.
Clay City is not looking great because the next thing you know, Clay City is going to be like Sailor Springs. Yeah, it just makes me sad. But anyway, so some of these people, with the exception of one of them, I did know some of these people. But the very first one, when you talk, every town has their prominent names. You know, I mean, like when you think of Florida, you think of Stacey Earlywine. I mean, right? Is that not yet?
Not yet. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. I'm not sure you're there yet.
Who is that big mouth? But anyway, today I'm going to talk about the Gordon family, and mainly Reverend Fred R. Gordon Sr. And it seems like, I don't know, I love it whenever people put their mark on places. You know, like going through cemetery. I love a cemetery. I'm ready for spring, too, because we need to do a cemetery hop, too.
Yes, we do. There's a few on my list of places I want to stop.
Yeah, I love a cemetery, and I hope, you know, but they've been here since the beginning of time, you know, and I hope cemeteries continue to. That sounds kind of
to be taken care of.
To be taken care of. I don't ever want to see that. But anyway, I want to talk a little bit about the Gordon family. Reverend Fred R. Gordon Sr. And I love, they call it a brother and Mrs. Fred R. Gordon Sr. moved to Clay City in November 1943. Brother Gordon had accepted the pastorate of the First Baptist Church in Clay City. They came to Clay City with 7 of their 11 children.
Dang.
You know, I wonder...
People did that, though. Everybody had a bunch of kids back then.
Do you think mainly people had a lot of kids back then because they were farmers? Do you think maybe that's what that was? So many farmers and they needed kids? Or
no, I don't think that was it. I think it was just that's how it was that time frame.
Yeah.
Because, like, my great-grandparents on both sides of the family... they all had a lot of kids around that time. They were not all farmers. They were store owners, and you know, there was different things they did, and they miners. Yeah, they all had a bunch of kids.
Yeah, my mom, there were 6. My granny and grandpa had 6 kids, and then the Hempill side of the family, there was 5.
I think they just had that attitude of like, go forth and multiply. And I mean, times were tough, but you could always make ends meet and always have enough, you know, one more meal. But I don't think it really became, like, looking through like history and all of my ancestors and stuff, I don't think it really became a thing to only have 2 kids until like the 1950s and 60s, and they started promoting that American dream, and everybody has their own.
Well, and then women
live in the suburb, and you have one boy and one girl, and the husband works, and it's very, you know.
And then
TV
I think once women went back to work, because the women really started going back to work in the 60s, wasn't it? Yeah, the 60s, and that would be an interesting show to do too on women's history. But anyway, so they came to Clay City with 7 of their 11 children in a 1936 Ford, which they drove for several years. Their 2 older sons were in World War II, and the 2 oldest daughters stayed in Decatur.
Okay, it's time out. I'm picturing this 1936 Ford. And
I can't even think of what a 36 Ford looks like.
I'm not a positive, but I'm picturing the Clampetts with everybody piled on top with all of their stuff. Because how do you fit 7 children plus the mother and the father? That's 9 people into your 1936 Ford.
Yeah, look at what does a 1936 Ford look like?
I mean, I'm sure there's different models, but
yeah, I want to see
which one did they have? Because I'm pretty sure it wasn't a van.
It doesn't say. It just says in their 1936 Ford. Just pick one up. Whoa. So 9 people in this thing?
Well,
wow, that's super
which
cool.
I know the back seats were bigger than they are
Holy
these.
Moses. Boy, that's a sharp-looking car, isn't it?
So you think they crammed 4 across the front and 4 across the back?
And then one in the
and then one in the way back
in the window.
And then where did they put their luggage and their
I don't
stuff?
know. Maybe they came with
see that little thing on the back? They had some bags back there.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Good thing there weren't seatbelt laws.
No seatbelt laws.
Okay, go on with your story.
Okay, so the 2 sisters stayed in Decatur. The next month, Fred and Ruth purchased the South Side grocery store from Burley Shock, which they owned and operated for the next 10 years. This is what I remember. The Gordons owned the grocery store downtown. Okay. Like, when you're going into downtown and you pass the post office.
Yep.
Right there. That
on
building
the
right there on the corner.
Yep.
Brother Gordon was one of the organizers of the Rotary Club. He was also a member of the AF and AM Lodge. As a Rotary Club member, Fred was very active in starting the first Fall Festival in Clay City.
Oh, good.
The Fall Festival helped to raise funds for supporting the youth programs in the summer. Baseball games, trips to Charlie Brown Park for swimming, and a bus trip to St. Louis to attend a Major League ball game. Brother Gordon was mayor of Clay City from 1947 to 1949, treasurer of the village, and served as supervisor for Clay City Township. In 1976, he was on the Clay County Board. In the 70s, Brother Gordon and Frank Wilcox helped start the Golden Circle Nutrition Center in Clay City. Brother Gordon became a Baptist minister in Shelby County, Illinois in 1933. Reverend Charles Allen presented Brother Gordon with a plaque honoring Gordon's 50 years in gospel ministry at the Baptist Church. Brother Gordon married many couples and officiated at many funerals in central Illinois. He was a very loving father, grandfather, great and great-great-grandfather. He died March 14th, 1989 at Clay County Hospital. He was laid to rest in Union Cemetery, Findlay, Illinois. He always loved Clay City and helped the people in it. Let's show a picture of the Reverend Fred R. Gordon.
Okay.
Yeah, there he is. Look at him.
Oh, yeah. You can just tell he's a nice guy.
Is he not amazing?
Yeah, super nice guy.
What a great guy.
I didn't even know him, but you can tell.
Yeah. And then there's another picture of the entire family. The Gordon family, Russell, Fred, John, Bob, Jack, Marilyn, Jenny, June, Doris, Wayne, Ruth, and Fred. Aren't they awesome?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a little bit of his son, Russell. I've got a picture of Russell Gordon, too. Russell Gordon, son of Fred and Ruth Gordon, was the well-known owner of the Lucky Dollar food store in Clay City. He was the mayor of the village from 1969 to 1972, president of the Clay City Lions Club, a member of the American Legion and the Clay City Oddfellows. He was a member of the First Baptist Church and a veteran of World War II.
Oh, cool.
So that is a little update on the Gordon family.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice family.
It does makes you wonder. Like we do a lot of these stories, and almost everybody has a church tie.
Mm-hmm.
Have you noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if, like, now, if it'll be that same, like if people, historians talk about us, will they be like, so many people were reverends and ministers,
Mm-hmm.
but I love what they call him brother. It's so weird because Jim is the pastor at the First Church of Flora. It used to be the First Baptist Church, and it's so weird when so many people call Jim brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where that title.
I think it's a Baptist thing, really. We used to go to a Baptist church. I went to a Baptist church for a little bit when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, they were always like, everybody was a brother or sister in Christ. So you would put brother in front of any male name, and you would put sister in front of any female name.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I always thought that was interesting. And when I was a kid, it was confusing because I'm like, she's not your sister.
Yeah.
Why are you calling her your sister?
You know what?
But I didn't understand the sister in Christ, brother in Christ.
Yeah, I didn't understand it either, and it is interesting. Like, because people always come up to brother Jim Earlywine, but what confused me when I was little, cousin Fred's.
Oh, because that really wasn't your cousin.
I really thought Fred was my cousin. Who? John Tanner. Do you remember John Tanner?
Yes.
And John Tanner always called everybody, hey, cuz.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
He sure did.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, didn't John Tanner work at Cousin Fred's? Or have some sort of relationship with Cousin Fred's?
I don't know, but I will tell you that for the longest time, I thought John Tanner was actually my cousin.
Well, I did too.
And maybe he is, because I don't know for sure, but there's a lot of, I'm related to about everybody in Clay County in some way or the other. So I just assumed he really was my cousin, but I don't know.
I always thought he was a great guy. He's passed.
He's passed away.
He was died. But every time I remember about John Tanner. He just walked really fast.
He did everything fast.
Just a step. Hey, cuz, how are you? Hey, cuz.
Yep.
And I really thought he was my cousin. And I thought Cousin Fred's was my cousin. And I got my first bicycle. It was a pink Huffy from Cousin Fred's. I love that bike. I wish I had it back.
I wish I had my old Huffy back too, with the banana seat.
Mine didn't have a banana seat. This came out with, remember, like when the pink seat came out, and it was like kind of like a little bit wider, like this, and it was about this thick.
I don't remember that, but I believe you.
You weren't born yet.
I am of the. I was the banana seat generation.
You're the banana seat girl.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. We're going to take a commercial break,
okay,
and we're going to talk about a lady named Juanita Miller, and she was a nurse who actually traveled to Africa. So we want to talk about her next. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for a loan for your brand new home, call Clay County State Bank. If you want to transfer money so your future will look sunny, call Clay County State Bank.
We got checking and savings and bill pay too.
An online bank, just ask our crew. For all your banking needs, we think you will agree.
Clay County State Bank is the place you need to be. Clay County State Bank.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield Banking Companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Tomorrow. Some fear the uncertainty it brings. Some trust the promise it holds. At Grinnell Mutual, we are always looking forward to tomorrow, growing and innovating. So even if the plans you have for the future aren't the same as the plans that the future holds for you, you can be ready. Because we'll be ready, like we have been for over 100 years. Trust in that. Trust in tomorrow. Talk to your mutual agent today.
Your local agent is on the square. Louisville, Clay County, Farmers Mutual Insurance.
By the way, with Beth and Stacey, I'm Beth Cooper.
I'm Stacey Earlywine, and we're talking about some citizens from Clay City. And we just got done talking about the Gordon family, and now we're going to talk about Juanita Miller. Juanita Miller's got an interesting story. She was a nurse, and she had a love of Africa.
Okay.
So I'm going to read her story here. Juanita Miller, she was 9 months old when her parents, D.T. and Edna Miller, moved their family to Clay City to work in the new oil field. Her dad was a tank builder and later had many different jobs to support his family. Her little sister was born about 4 years later, completing the family of 6. So you got to take in consideration that oil boom in Clay City really, that's really built Clay City at the time. Mm-hmm. That's when everybody was traveling to and from Clay City. She went to Clay City and graduated from high school in 1954. She then enrolled in nursing school in Champaign and graduated in 1957. After graduating, she returned back to Clay City and spent nearly 20 years as the head nurse in the pediatric department of Richland Memorial Hospital. While she was in the 2nd grade, Mrs. Margaret Blackledge had made a project on life in Africa that made a huge impression on her. After many years listening to reports of missionaries and then a request for a registered nurse in Zaire. Is that how you say that? Zaire. Due to the death of the nurse in their area, she felt a tug on her heart from the Lord. All plans fell into place faster than she had planned. In August 1978, she accompanied a carpenter and his family to Zaire. I can't even imagine taking off and going to Africa, especially in the 70s. I can't imagine doing it now.
I can't imagine doing it then or now, but even then would have been scarier because I don't think they had a handle on what vaccines you needed before you went, and there was so much malaria and all kinds of things going on over there.
Yeah.
Just really scary.
I think it's really
and for her to be a nurse and working with the sick, confident that she wasn't going to get it,
and not to mention, I mean, Africa has been in turmoil since the beginning of Africa. I mean, they're still constantly fighting. That is something that blows my mind too. The fact that even today that what do they call that? Well, when they're killing each other and fighting amongst each other, and
Civil War,
the Civil War and the militia, all that.
Which, we're talking about one huge continent. Yeah. So, she could have went somewhere that was safe, and we just don't associate that with Africa.
Right, true. She said the country was beautiful and the people were beautiful, but cultures and customs were totally different. She had a 2-year term to become acquainted with work and find a place where she could fit in and benefit the people. She found a home and then she came home and continued to Canada for further training. Working 3 months with the Indians south of the Hudson Bay. Their lifestyle problems and needs were so similar to the Africans in Zaire. So she's a traveler.
So she's worked with Africans, and now she's working with Native Americans. Okay.
So what does she have?
Grit and gumption.
She does. She raised funds to help with the needs of the Africans. There were few funds for use in the medical work. She took many items in crates and barrels when she returned, and subsequently ordered medicines from many different areas, but mostly from Europe, shipped through Kenya. There were many dispensaries for her to oversee, as well as providing medical supplies. Some supplies flew to the missions, and some she delivered by land. This was also while holding prenatal and children clinics, giving vaccines to all, and helping obtain transportation to other areas where better care was offered. There were lots of one-on-one and group encounters to educate the people. She was involved with high-protein feeding programs for those who were low in weight. They had programs to give to those in need of clothes and of necessities. These people could not afford to purchase these things. We had a group from Illinois who spent time seeing eye patients and performing surgeries and supplying corrective glasses. So many things we take for granted here, isn't it? It was such a blessing having 3 teams for 3 areas. It was really a blessing for the older people to have cataracts removed, and the younger ones becoming able to study with their new glasses. In 1994-95, she was asked to help with the Rwandan refugees as they fled into Zaire and were put into 4 or 5 camps in the areas of medical work. She was excited to find that the people there knew 5 to 6 different languages.
Oh, wow.
That's impressive. No, not English, but Swahili and French. I had assisted in purchasing needs and medical supplies for them all. Since the Rwandans weren't allowed the time to bring much, they were very grateful for clothes and all the help they received. The government or soldiers were always wanting their share. This was difficult for her until she realized they didn't get a salary from the country. They were even grateful when I gave them a loaf of bread. she could pass through a road check more easily with the bread. Their philosophy is, it doesn't hurt to beg, you might get something. You see, wherever she went, the Lord went with her and protected her.
That's a cool story.
That is a good story, isn't it? Let's show some pictures. Let's show the picture of her when she was young. This is Juanita Miller.
Okay.
Nursing, and it's kind of hard to see the map behind her, but it's
but she's ready to go.
Ready to go. And then there are pictures of her. Yeah, these are some of the other pictures. She's older there. She's on the top left, and she's talking to a lady, and then there's pictures. There she is helping a mother with the babies. And then there's one more picture of her holding them. That baby that baby that she's holding almost looks like it's a Caucasian baby, doesn't it? Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. You just don't even. Yeah, it's I don't know. Kind of.
What a great story, though.
That
Brave
is a
woman.
Yeah. Now, as far as like her, I don't know when she passed. I don't know where she's buried. Might be on Find a Grave.
Or is it possible she's still alive?
She might. Well, when was she?
I don't know. I'll research that while we're on commercial break here in a minute.
Yeah. Let's see. Her baby sister was born in 1954.
Yeah, she's probably still alive.
Yeah. She went to school. She graduated. She went to school in Clay City and graduated from high school in 1954. So what would that be? 44. So let's see. 54. She was 8 to 10 4 years, and then probably 36. Yeah, she was probably born in 1936, which would be what?
She's probably still alive.
64, 74, 84, 5, 6, 7, 8. She could be in her 90s.
That's what I was
90.
thinking.
Yeah, would it be interesting? Yeah, we'll have to research her and see
for sure.
Yeah, and there's another interesting story to see. I don't have that. I mean, I don't really have that mission call.
I don't either.
I think that you have to have that.
I admire those that do it.
I do too.
But I don't have that. I feel like my mission field is right here at home.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. I never did have that call. But it's amazing to me the people that do. Now Jim does several mission trips, but Jim's mission field is he likes the storms.
Build things.
Yeah,
he likes to help people after storms.
Samaritan's Purse. I'm telling you what, if you're looking for some place to give money, Samaritan's Purse is where it's at. Franklin Graham, I'm telling you, Samaritan's Purse is legit.
They really help everybody.
They are legit, and they help.
They're boots on the ground helping people rebuild.
Right from the time the last raindrop hits, if not even prior.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess North Carolina is still a disaster.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I have a friend, Troy Kurtz. He's a pastor, and he's been going to, I think Sonja Harrison's also been going a lot.
They both have, I heard.
Yeah, been going to North Carolina and checking all that out. Yeah, it's kind of
They're helping people with propane to make sure that they have enough propane. And I think they're taking donations. So if you're interested in helping the people in North Carolina, you could reach out to one of those local people.
Yeah. Because gotta have propane.
Yep.
Electric doesn't always stay on.
When there's no power lines, there's no electricity.
I hate to break it to you.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, we're going to take a commercial break, and then I'm going to come back with two more gentlemen that were involved in the school system over in Clay City. So we'll be right back.
Do you bowl like this? That's great. Do you bowl like this? That's great too. That's because whether you're a pro or you just want to have a lot of fun, at Peggle's Silver Dollar Lanes, we have a lane for you. We have galaxy bowling, gaming for kids and adults, Joe's Pizza, a full bar, darts, pool, and fresh and clean bowling shoes. Boy, does that smell nice. So come on down to Peggle Silver Dollar Lanes in Effingham, where we have a lane for you.
My name is Robin Stanford. I own Stanford Marketing. It's a promotional products business along with an embroidery business. And we do custom hats, t-shirts, anything, you name it, we can make it. People like that we do stuff in-house and we can actually make things here and that we're not contracting the work out to other places. We never say no. We always try to find a way to do it. If anybody can do it, we can do it. We are hardworking women, that is for sure. Come to Stanford Marketing in Flora for all your custom and promotional needs.
Give me all your lumber. Doors, paint, windows, electrical, plumbing, and much more. Oh yeah, give me all your guns too.
John Lucas.
What?
You better be dreaming about all the stuff we sell here at Zink Building Center.
Oh, I would. Zink Building Center in Louisville on Route 45. It's a cool place.
Welcome back to By the Way with Beth and Stacey. We were just talking about Juanita Miller of Clay City and her awesome career as a nurse and as a missionary. And I did a little research, and she has passed away. She passed away in 2013 at the age of 76.
76.
Yes, so she had an awesome life, it sounds like.
She did have an awesome life. Well,
Yeah.
give her. She probably, and she, knowing that woman, she probably worked up until the last.
Yes, I wish it would let me read her entire obituary, but it wants me to subscribe in order. It wants my credit card information before I.
Where did you go?
It was in the Effingham Daily News.
Is she on Find a Grave?
Let me look there.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and start talking about your next one. And
She's
then I'll...
going to do the fancy researching. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about some music guys. Clay City High School. The first gentleman I'm going to talk about is Virgil Schaefer. Oh, gosh, Helen Schaefer was his wife. She was the sweetest little woman you've ever met in your life. So great. Mr. Schaefer came to Clay City in 1934 when he was hired as a teacher and coach at Clay City High School. He became high school principal in 1942 and held that position until 1963. So, 21 years. With a leave to serve as volunteer for the U.S. Navy in 1944 and 45. He resigned in 1963 to become the county superintendent of schools and retired in 1975. Mr. Schaefer was the recipient of Clay City's first Outstanding Citizen Award. He was cited for his efforts as a public speaker and his work with the Clay City Christian Church, where he was a charter member, Sunday school teacher, and trustee. He was active in the American Legion, Lions Club, VFW, Masonic Lodge, and the Elks Lodge. Many students from 1934 to 1963 have a Mr. Schaefer story. He was strict, but always fair in his discipline. He helped many students on the path to their career, insisting that some should go to college, even talking some to help them get enrolled, even taking some time to help them get enrolled. Most students now realize how fortunate they were to have Mr. Schaefer as their principal. Virgil and wife Helen were both outstanding people. They were the parents of 3 children, Joanne Poorman, Bill, and Jim Schaefer. Mr. Schaefer passed away August 3rd, 1993. Let's show a picture of Mr. Schaefer. Yeah, there's that. Does he look like a principal and a superintendent?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the fact that, like I said, he was there. He held the position, but then he did take the time off to volunteer with the U.S. Navy in 44 and 45. Now, I don't remember him. I was over in Clay City in the area, but I don't think I ever met him. But I did meet Helen. Helen lived to be quite elderly. She was a great woman. And then I just got a picture of the Clay City High School. This is what it looks like. That building's still there.
Yep.
Yep. They did build on a new part. So. Yeah, Mr. Schaefer was a really good man, and they're always so involved in all of these different lodges, the Elks and the VFW and all those.
That's people always had they did their civic duty, even though they were busy and they had families and they had things going on. Everybody took part in civic duty or something with their town, their community. And do we do that today? No. We don't. So many people out there don't. They're just, they just only are at home or whatever. And we need volunteers and all the wonderful things that make things happen around the area.
Yeah.
Volunteer
because it's exhausting.
Nobody does that anymore.
It's exhausting when you do it all yourself.
Yes.
Yes. So did you find anything?
There were so many Juanita Millers out there.
Oh, my goodness.
I narrowed it down to Clay County, and I didn't see any buried in Clay County. So wherever she was buried, I don't believe it was Clay County.
I wonder if I bet she stayed single, too. Do you think she was single with her travels and stuff and the way that she...
kind of what I'm wondering.
I wonder, because it didn't say... I mean, Juanita Miller, it didn't say that was that's what they was talking about her the whole time. It didn't say like she was married or anything in the story. I don't know. You can hunt and hunt and hunt for days, can't you? Yeah. That find a grave is... I have trouble with it sometimes. Sometimes I don't always... Sometimes things pop right up and some things don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some people I get to immediately and other people...
Yeah. And I wonder why that is. Well, the lady in black has done a great job with finding a grave.
Yes, she has.
Yes. Yeah, the lady in black. I love the fact that she's been anonymous this whole time.
Yeah.
I think there's only a few people that know who the lady in black is.
Yeah, I believe Miller was her maiden name, and I don't think Juanita ever got married.
Okay. Yeah, I would guess she probably didn't. She was married to Africa.
She ended up being, I can get this from my little preview of the obituary, she was the head of pediatrics registered nurse for Richland Memorial Hospital. I wonder if she's buried in Richland County. Let me try that.
Huh. She might be, considering that's where she worked the whole time. You know, we don't do very many stories on Richland County.
We do not, no, but we should dig in to see what's going on over there.
I think we did. We did Weber Clinic. We did the Webers one time, didn't we? But I think that's all we've ever done. We really need to do a story on Joe's Pizza.
Yeah, that's good.
That's interesting. And then have Joe's Pizza while we're...
And then eat Joe's Pizza while we're talking about it. That would be good.
While we're talking
that would be really good. Yes.
Okay, now the next gentleman I'm going to talk about is John C. Gingler Jr.
Okay.
He is a man after my own heart. He was a music teacher. Okay?
Okay.
John Gingler, but then they call him Jack. I've never understood that. What is that?
I don't
John
know.
F. Kennedy.
Jack
Kennedy. Why? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know why Jack is a nickname for John or Jonathan.
I don't get it.
I don't get it, but I like it. I'm all for it.
You're all for it?
Yep. Call him Jack.
John C. Gingler Jr. Jack Gingler came to Clay City in 1948 after obtaining both his bachelor's and master's degrees from Illinois Wesleyan University in Bloomington.
He was smart.
He was very smart. For 40 years, the name of Jack Gingler was synonymous with the Clay City music program. An excellent musician in his own right, both his bands, the grade school and high school, captured top honors at the state contest. A graduate of Illinois Wesleyan University in Bloomington, where he obtained both his bachelor's and master's degrees, Gingler came to Clay City in 1948 and began to mold the grade school and the high school bands into the crown jewels of the district. But it has taken a great deal of hard work to be the best. Gingler was quick to point out that it was the students who made the band program what it was. He worked many long hours to help the students refine their skills. He was often at the grade school as early as 7 a.m., preparing for the day or giving private lessons. After a full day of teaching the bands at both schools, he was usually still working, providing private lessons, period, Stacey.
Okay.
The Clay City bands claimed superior ratings for 25 years. A professional trumpet player, that's what I play. He played in the Navy band while in the service.
Wow.
The horn was his first love, although he was adept at playing most instruments. He was born March 17, 1920 in St. Louis, Missouri. He was a World War II veteran of the Coast Guard. He passed away November 16, 1996. Let's show a picture of Mr. Gingler.
Oh, yeah. He looks like a good guy.
Oh, yeah. And I love the fact that I think I recognize
He just looks like a music. I know he's directing right now, but like, even if he wasn't, if you met this guy on the street, you'd be like, he teaches music.
Yeah.
They all have a look.
Yeah,
you
they
know?
all have a look. Yeah.
I don't know.
This is a quote from Stephen Bangert, who Steve Bangert was an excellent piano player. Oh, he's passed away, but oh my gosh, he could play. You've never seen anybody tickle the ivories like Steve Bangert.
Really?
Oh, he was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, he was amazing. Mr. Gingler devoted his life to something he believed in and loved. His legacy to the Clay City schools and the hundreds of students he educated will never be repeated. That was a quote from Stephen Banger. And then I got a cute little picture of his band.
Okay.
Look at this cute little picture when he's in his younger days.
Oh.
Look at all those band students at Clay City.
Cute. All their skirts and
all their little skirts. And that's him in the back. Yeah. Music teachers are important.
Is that like one giant blackboard in the back?
I believe it is. It looks like it. Nope, it's a screen.
Oh, it's a screen.
I wonder where that's at. It's got to be, well, they look, no, I would say from that picture, I bet they're high school students, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
They're high school students, so that might be at the high school. And that's probably the original building. I don't know where that would be at.
Mm-hmm. Neat.
I don't know.
Neat, I like it.
Yeah, pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mr. Gingler. I remember people talking about Mr. Gingler, how great he was. And Harry Penry was my.
He reminded me a little bit of Harry Penry, the way that he looked.
Yeah.
That whole music teacher look.
Yeah. Mr. Penry still looked young, though. I mean, he looked young for a long. Mr. Penry was my favorite teacher. Music's my love, and it's what I do best. Mr. Kuntz. I only had 2 band directors my entire life. Mr. Kuntz at Lincoln School, and then Harry Penry. So I had 2 of the best.
Yep, you sure did.
2 of the best, great men. They were great men, and you could always talk to them about anything. And I've said this many times before. I'm a graduate of 1985, and the majority of the teachers in the high school were male. There were very few women teachers. They were mostly all male. And the people that graduated in the 80s were so blessed to have those male teachers. They were amazing. Absolutely amazing teachers. And I'd actually like to do a story on those male teachers from the 80s. They were all hired by Floyd C. Smith.
Okay.
Floyd C. Smith hired them all. I ran into Mr. McCoy the other day at the diner and was like, "Hey, are your ears burning? I was talking about you today." But Floyd C. Smith brought all those male teachers, and they were absolutely spectacular. And I think we've only lost a couple. I think Mr. Fry's passed away. I think I don't know if Jim Miglin's still alive, but then we lost Mr. Baird this last year. But they were fantastic. If you graduated in the 80s, you were blessed to have those male teachers. And Harry Penry's number 1 in my book. He was great. He was great. Boy, they were strict, but boy, you respected him. I don't feel like there's respect anymore.
There is not
feel like
as
there's
much
respect
that is for
anymore.
sure.
Yeah,
that
they demanded it and they got it, and and that's let's look at these kids back then probably really respected him and respected Mr. Schaefer, and I don't know. I just feel like parents don't really teach their children to respect people anymore.
Right.
And I don't like the whole, well, they got to be respected. No, they don't. They're kids. Shut up. I disagree with that. I will disagree with that till the day I die. No, you teach children to respect their elders. Elders don't have to respect the children. Do they have to be nice to them? Yeah.
Yeah, I sort of say there's a little bit of a fine line there.
No,
because
they got to be nice to them, but no, they don't respect.
You just can't treat somebody awful and then expect that person to turn around and respect you for it.
Right. No.
So there is a line there.
Yeah, I don't believe that people be like, well, my child deserves respect. No, your child needs to listen and pay attention to what's going on. Children should respect their elders. Elders, yes, of course, need to treat the children good, but I think that's
the
lost
thing
in
about
translation.
those teachers back then is they always spoke politely.
Yes, they did.
They were more formal, even their speech their attire, and it wouldn't be like they would be walking down the hallway and be like, "What's up?" Like, "How you doing, bud?" It wasn't that kind of relationship. It was like they were walking a fine line straight down the hallway. And
they
you
weren't
could speak
their
to
friend.
them. You might say, right, they weren't
You're not their friend.
Good morning, Mr. So-and-so. I had a principal in the 80s named Mr. Yates. Jack Yates of Harrisburg, Illinois. Great guy, very well respected, always had on a suit.
Yep.
Good morning, Mr. Yates.
That's right.
But it was never like, high five, Mr. Yates. Was just, it was, there
I
was
think
different.
There's a fine line because, like I said, you're not, and I say that to parents too. If you're raising children, you're not your children's friend. If you claim to be your child's best friend, you are failing as a parent.
Yeah.
You are their parent first. You can be their friend when they're adults. And that's my
Parenting 101 by Stacey.
Parenting 101. Parenting 101. You are their parent, not their friend.
Yes.
I just can't.
Later, you can become their friend.
Oh, later.
When they're grown.
When they're grown, you become friends. But, my 2-year-old's my best friend. Well, you're stupid.
No,
she's not.
She's not. Got to be her mom first or her dad, or whatever.
Otherwise, you should take all your advice from
Deeper Thoughts by Jack Handy. What is he gonna say to us today?
Because I don't read them before I come on here because I want to be surprised.
Yes.
I remember how in college I got that part-time job as a circus clown and how the children would laugh and laugh at me. I vowed then and there that I would get revenge.
Oh, Jack Handy. Oh, my gosh. Oh, he's a hoot. I don't know how his mind works. I wouldn't want to be married to him. He is a real person in real life. He really is. We looked it up.
Could you imagine being married to Jack Handy?
He either has like extreme ADHD or he's on drugs.
I don't know, man.
I don't know,
but that's it for the show today.
Okay.
That's a good one.
That was a good one. As always, thank you for joining us. You can catch us on Wabash Catch TV, channel 100, daily at 11 a.m. and then again at 3. That's Monday through Friday. And then we're on YouTube, by the way, with Beth and Stacey. You can watch any of our episodes there. So until next time, we'll see you later.
All righty. God bless you and have a great day.